the first manifestation is the triangle, the triad. So in this, there are three things. One is the subject, one is the object, and one is the process of observation. Okay? So we see this triad occurring many, many times. The known, the knower, and the process of knowing. The seer, the seen, the process of seeing. Right? So all of these triads are contained within the first triangle. It can also be expressed as space, time, and matter. And if we talk in terms of Hindu philosophy, then space is represented by Vishnu, time is represented by Shiva, and matter is represented by Brahma. So the trinity of Indian philosophy is contained in that first triangle. So Brahma Saraswati is one pair, Vishnu Lakshmi, and Shiva and Parvati. Shri Matre Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So we will venture now into drawing a Sri Chakra. So we already have some idea about what a Sri Chakra is, right? So it is essentially a circle of grace. Sri Chakra can also be referred to as a wheel of grace or wheel of auspiciousness. It is the abode of the Divine Mother. Both the masculine, divine masculine, and the divine feminine principles are encoded in that. It is the blueprint of the cosmos. So it contains within it the entire cosmos. So whatever is there in the external cosmos is there in the Sri Chakra. And the Sri Chakra itself also is there within us. Any yantra is a form of the divine. So each deity has their own particular yantra. So we know that a yantra is formed out of lines, circles, dots, petals, and all of these, right? So just as each deity has a particular representation, the face, the weapons in the hand, the posture in which they sit, everything, so also each deity has their own yantra. Okay? So the Sri Yantra is said to be Yantra Raja because it is the king of all yantras. It is supposed to be the most complex and the best of all yantras. Okay? So it brings to us the abundance of the cosmos. So whatever is there, the abundant nature of the cosmos is brought to us. We know that it is formed by 5 downward facing triangles and 4 upward facing triangles, right? So the 5 downward triangles represent the Shakti and 4 represent Shiva. So why is Shakti given more importance than Shiva? We also heard about Saundarya Lahari, and it says there that without Shiva, Shakti cannot exist, nor Shakti without Shiva. So they are one and the same, but manifested differently. Shiva represents the silent, attributeless witness within us, whereas Shakti is the dynamic energy that we see externally. And yet, we say that they are both one and the same, right? But then there is some partiality here. Right? We are giving more importance to Shakti because she has got 5 triangles and Shiva has only 4. Because this represents creation. If both keep cancelling each other out, then it becomes a 0 again. So we need the Shakti principle to dominate because that is what represents as creation, as manifestation. So if we start from the Bindu, at the very Bindu, the Bindu can be described as Purnam or complete or also as Shunyam. So it is said in the Upanishads, Dve Brahma veditavye, shunyam cha, shunyam cha. So what this means is, there are two kinds of Brahman who are to be known. One is called Shunyam and one is called Ashunyam. So Ashunyam means negation, right? Shunyam is the zero and Ashunyam means the opposite of zero, which is fullness or completeness. So both these are to be known. That is what the Vedas say. So the challenge was how to create something out of nothing. We know the concept of zero. So Shunyam is zero. So how do you create something out of nothing? It cannot be created. The only way it can be created is that when you create something, take one thing out of it, then an equal and opposite thing also has to be pulled out, such that the sum of the two still remains zero. Okay? So if you take out a plus 1, then a minus 1 is removed, and then the sum of that remains as 0. So plus 2, minus 2, sum remains 0. Plus 5, minus 5, sum remains 0. So for every creation, we see entire creation is full of all kinds of dualities. Right? There is the male, there is the female. There is hot, there is cold, there is high, there is low. So this entire universe is made up of dualities. There is Shiva, there is Shakti. So all of these are contained in that. So the universe was created, we can think of it as a Big Bang explosion. And when it explodes, then what is created is 3 points. So the triangle, the first manifestation is the triangle, the triad. So in this, there are 3 things. One is the subject, one is the object, and one is the process of observation. Okay? So we see this triad occurring many, many times. The known, the knower, and the process of knowing. The seer, the seen, the process of seeing. Right? So all of these triads are contained within the first triangle. It can also be expressed as space, time, and matter. And if we talk in terms of Hindu philosophy, then space is represented by Vishnu, time is represented by Shiva, and matter is represented by Brahma. So the trinity of Indian philosophy is contained in that first triangle. So Brahma Saraswati is one pair, Vishnu Lakshmi, and Shiva and Parvati. Okay? So that is the first creation. From the Bindu, from the center, is the triangle. After that, we come to the 8 triangled enclosure. So this is the first manifestation where sound comes into being. So the sound beats or the drum beats of Shiva at the end of every cycle of creation, that is when the drum beats, they have 14 sounds. And those 14 sounds are the original sounds from where all literature, music, dance, yoga, everything is said to have evolved. Those are represented in the 8 triangles that surround the central triangle. After that, you have the 2 sets of 10 triangles, which you heard about, I think, already, right? One is relating to the cosmos. So the 5 elements and their 5 properties is one set of 10 triangles, the inner set, and the outer set of 10 triangles relates to the 5 sensory organs and the 5 action organs. So the 10 and the 10. And then you come to the last one before we come to the petals, that is the 14 triangles. They have been described as the 14 worlds, right? 14 nadis, the 14 most important nadis, out of which the most important nadis of the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna are contained within those 14 triangles. So the progression of the Sri Chakra goes in stages of 3. The first 3 are the point, the triangle, and a set of 8 triangles. That represents the pre-cosmic stage. So before the cosmos was born. So that is like the egg or the seed. So before the cosmos can be born. The next three, the 10, 10, and 14, represent the manifest cosmos. And after the circle, after that, you come to the 8-petaled, 16-petaled, and the square, outermost square. Okay, so the outermost square or the Bhupura is where we find ourselves, the situation where we find ourselves. We are situated in the Bhupura. So the journey from the Bindu to the Bhupura is called Ahamkara, meaning the manifestation of the individual. So the ultimate cosmic principle has to come down or descend through a series of layers before the individual can be formed. So the ultimate nature has to be veiled in so many different ways before it can manifest as the individual. And from here, the journey back to the source, back to the Bindu, is again removing those veils and finding our true nature. And that is called Mahat. So it is a very neat reversal. Aham, A-H-A-M, Aham. And reverse journey is M-A-H-A or Maha. So becoming the universe. Right? So to become the individual, you have to die to your cosmic nature and become the individual. When you understand that you are the ultimate divine principle, you have to die to your individual nature. Only then you can identify yourself with the entire cosmos. So we say the macrocosm and the microcosm are one and the same, right? So it is through the Sri Yantra, through all yantras, you interact. What is within you and what is in the cosmos, you interact through the yantra to understand. And since the Sri Yantra is a manifestation of the entire cosmos, you realize that you are one and the same as the cosmos. You can understand that through this Sri Yantra. In the practice of Sri Vidya, you have many rituals, many elaborate rituals also, where you learn how to connect this yantra, how to worship the yantra and all that. But another simple way of worshipping the yantra is also drawing the yantra. Because ultimately, whatever sadhana you're doing, whatever puja you're doing, externally has to be at some point internalized, has to be visualized internally. To be able to do that, you have to practice over and over and over again in the external so that you can bring it to your internal. Okay? So if you want to draw a beautiful painting of a sunrise or a sunset, if you have never seen such a beautiful landscape, then you're not going to be able to do that. But if you have, been in nature many, many times and you have, connected with nature and you see that, then you are able to, when you close your eyes, you can bring back all those senses. How do the mountains look? How does the sunset look? How do you feel the coolness of the air? All of that. You can only do that when you have had the experience in the external and then this thing. So both are important. The world external, the circle, and the center. So both of them you cannot say that only that is important or only this is important. That is the one that will lead to this. So both are equally important. So I think as we are drawing, maybe I'll say a few lines also so that we don't lose out on time. So there's a small quote what Guruji has said, that the most important thing that I did after Guruji gave me the mantras is I started drawing the Sri Chakra. Okay, so since it represents the ultimate abundance, this is what we want, right? We want all the positive energies of the universe which are there. They are also there in our body and we want to connect to them. Okay, so what you're doing in your mind's eye is your sadhana. So essentially, if you can visualize it in your mind's eye, that is the sadhana. So if there's a simple thing like a dot and a triangle, just the dot and a triangle, and keep visualizing, looking at that, and then try to close your eyes and be able to actually see that in your mind's eye. So this was not invented by anybody. This Sri Yantra was seen by sages in meditation, and it is itself a tool for meditation. So as you keep looking at it, you can connect with the yantra. And also, as you keep drawing it, right? So it's both the lines, the triangles, all of that, as well as the energy that you put into it, when you're coloring it, when you're making it look beautiful, the type of colors you use or the type of materials that you use to create the yantra. It can be in various different kinds of materials. So all of that, so both your artistic elements as well as the logical thinking mind of the triangles and all of this is also at play. So both parts of your brain get involved. It is a complete form of meditation. So you get completely absorbed in that. And you can also have some music or something playing, right? And let that also be there and then guide you as you are doing the meditation. So this is in fact doing meditation itself, okay? So you can do it in many ways. You can actually measure the distances and do it also. But today we will be doing a freehand way, okay? So let's see how that looks. So the first thing that you do is draw a vertical line through the center. Innermost circle, draw a vertical line, okay? Circle, center and the vertical line, right? So here is a point, end is a point. So now halfway between the center and the top, you have marked 1 point, right? Halfway from here to here, you have marked 1 point. Yes? Now halfway from here to here is 1 point and halfway from here to here is also 1 point, okay? Now mark from here halfway approximately, okay, here. Now the next one you do not take half, but you go slightly closer to the top point. So that's, it's just an approximation, okay, right? And the last one is from the center to the point below it, you make a halfway point there. Done? Okay, now you number these points. This is 1. Okay, so this is point 2. This is point 3, point 4. Circle is not counted as a point, okay, for our calculations. Below that, you start again 5, 6, 7, yes, you can number it, 8 and 9. This is equal to this is equal to this, okay. This is halfway and here this is equal to this, and from here to here not halfway but more towards point 3, little bit more towards point 3. Okay, now step 1, draw a horizontal line through the point number 4, horizontal line till it touches the edges of the circle. Okay, through point 4, done. Join the, where it meets the circle, right, those 2 points, join it to the point number 9. Now through horizontal through point number 6. Up to the edges of the circle, yes. Yeah. So the horizontal and then you join it to point 1, both the edges, both these points where it meets the circle, you join it to point 1. Horizontal through 6 and where it meets the circle on both sides, join it to point number 1. Okay, next step, now listen carefully. You draw a line through, horizontal line through number 3, but do not draw it up to the edge of the circle, okay. You estimate a point, you are just estimating approximately somewhere, okay, say here, I am estimating here, I could be less or I could be more, we will find out later, okay, and you draw this horizontal line. Okay, horizontal line through 8. Okay. Now the way you have to join it is, you have two fixed points which are point number 8 and this junction of two lines. Okay. These two are fixed points, but this one is still a variable point. We do not know, it could be ahead or it could be less also. So, these two is what you have to join and then extend it to meet that line. Okay. So, first join this to 8. Okay, on both sides. So, here also this is an estimated point, it is not a pakka point. You join from 8 to this junction here, then you extend it. Now similarly draw a horizontal through point 7. Do not go up to the edge of the circle. Again just make some random point, okay, and join it not all the way to the edge of the circle. Now locate the junction on horizontal 6. There is one here and there is one here. Okay. Go through this junction to point 2 and then extend that to meet this. So, it could have been less or it could have been more. So, this one first join the junction to 2 and then extend it to meet this horizontal through 7. See, now it is little bit less, so add up that line. Okay, now draw horizontal through point number 2, similarly somewhere before the circle. Okay, it is an estimated point. Okay, so now everybody got this horizontal through 2. Okay. Now there are two junctions that it has to pass through. From point number 5, okay, towards this line you see these two junctions, right? This and this junction and this junction, and line 3. See, you need to look from point 5, you look this way, you can see the two junctions and then you extend it to up to the horizontal through 2. Okay, okay, I will do this, I can erase it afterwards then, okay. This is the junction, this is the junction and this is the point 5, okay. And then similarly this junction from 5 through this junction and through this junction. So this is point 4, on either side here there is one junction, here also there is one junction, so you just put one circle there. Point 5 through point 5. Point 5 is the one below the center of the circle, okay. And the horizontal on point 3, it is the second junction from 3, from the point 3 it is not the first junction but second junction. Okay, similarly on the other side as well, you have one junction on horizontal 4 and then the second junction on horizontal 3 on the left, okay, that is this one. So join this junction to 5 and then extend it this way till it meets 2 and extend it Now draw a horizontal through 8. Through 8, but again don't go to the edge of the circle. Now you have to draw the line from 4 and you have to pass through 2 junctions. Yeah, similar. So this is on horizontal 7, 1 and horizontal 6, 1. So similarly through here, okay, and you have to now see, now the mine is also not aligning. I have to join this one and 4, but because I have not done it absolutely correctly, so this is going to be an additional, so I will try to minimize the error. You have to go through these 2 junctions. On horizontal 6 it is the first junction, on horizontal 7 it is the second junction. Okay. So those 2 junctions you have to go through and meet it with point 4 and then extend it to till it comes here. Okay. So this and this is fixed. Once you get the hang of it, in 5 minutes you can draw it. Okay. So it's not really that difficult as it, the first time is always difficult, but once you know how to go about it, it's easy. Okay. So shall we move to the next step? Okay. Now we are going to draw horizontal through point 5. Okay. Till where? See, I am drawing first on the right side. Okay. I am drawing cross one line and then go further up till you reach the second line. 5. See, so go through one line, cross one line, this is cross one street and go to the next street. If there are 2 streets meeting, then it is a junction, but here, so you cross one line and then meet the next. Okay. And this one joins to point 3. Now here you do not have to look for any junctions, no junctions to worry about now. This point here meets with point 3. To point 3. Now listen, this is the horizontal line 4, right? Now on either side if you look, you can see 2 junctions. Here this one junction, this one, and the second one is on this side over here, like 2 crosses, right? You see one cross here and one cross on this side. You identify where are those 2 crosses, okay? Join it, join those 2 points and extend it to the next street. Under 4. Look below the horizontal line 4, on either side you will see 2 large X's. So see, mark those 2 points and then extend it further till you meet the next line. Okay. Now just 2 more steps we are done, at least with the central part of the, look below your horizontal line 4. Okay. You will see 2 X's. Those 2 points are the junctions. You draw the horizontal line through that and extend up to the next line. Through 2 X's. So below 4, below horizontal line 4, if you look, you have 2 X's. This is 1 and this is 1. Okay. So first join those 2, then extend it up to the next line from the junction. Okay. So your line is essentially going, touching the slant from 2 on either side. Got that? Okay. Now that has to be joined to point 7. Okay. This is the point 7. Okay. It goes through this junction and crosses this line and meets it here. Yeah, there is a junction. Yeah, one junction and one line. It crosses one junction and one line. Here. Yeah, that's a straight line. Okay, now look above your center point. Look above the center point. Just see here, I am showing you. Above the center point, you can see two x's on either side, right? Join those two first. Right? Above the center point, there are two x's on either side. This is the center point, okay? Above that, this side there is an x and that side there is an x. So that those two junctions you join. Now on either side, after you join that, yeah, everybody listen, otherwise you will get confused. Okay? Extend it up to the next line. And remember, it is not going to meet this x, it will meet slightly higher. Okay? So it will not meet at the junction, it will meet little bit higher. From the center point, look up, you will find two x's on either side. Right? This is one, this is one. Join those two and then extend it further till you meet the next line. It will not meet at this x. Many people think it should meet here and then try to join it to this. Okay? It will not meet there. It is supposed to meet a little bit higher to that. Okay? On both sides similarly. Here also it will not meet at the junction and not at the x, but slightly higher. Okay? Now that you have those 2 points, that will join to point number 6. You guys are done? Your Sri Chakra is done. The central portion is done. Okay, now let us confirm if we have got it right. So just start shading in. Start from the center triangle. You have the bindu, which you have got a circle around it, right? Lightly shade the first central triangle. That is your triangle. Okay, so after the central triangle, you will find 8 triangles. Okay, so I am just pointing them out. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So shade those in. Yeah, I will come this side. Okay. So the line is there, don't get confused by that. This whole thing is one triangle. Okay. So now you can do. First confirm you have 8 and not 6. Yeah, I have done finished the 8, now you can see. So count the triangles, check that you have 8 and then you can shade it in, okay. They will not be equal size, some will be small, some will be larger. These two will generally be smaller, okay. Then the next set of 10 triangles is this one, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Is it beginning to look like a Sri Chakra now? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Next set of 10. And that is the 14 triangles, right. Okay, for drawing the petals, you extend your vertical line through the till the edge of your page on either side, and horizontal line don't draw it through the yantra part but from the circle to the edge of the page. Okay, then use the edges of the page to guide you through the center, get the halfway to the edge, so approximately half of this, right. So that will be the corner of your page. Oops, I told you not to do it and I did that. So go through, you've got 3 lines, right. You've got one more circle here and another circle there, okay. So go touch all of them. Similarly, halfway here and halfway here. Okay, and you have one circle here. Okay. Okay, now we have got these, right? Now again half of these you mark the points on one more circle also, right? So just estimate. First circle to second circle to third circle, okay, all. So that way. Okay, so when you're drawing the petal, just one thing to be careful, okay, that is the peak of the or the tip of the petal should be in the center here, okay. So don't do it from here this way. So this is one petal, okay. So from here to here and here to here, and I suggest you do the opposite petal and then the opposite petal on either side, then you will not make a mistake. Okay, and then for the 16 you have to make one more division. If you've got the 8, figure out how to make the 8, right? Only be careful that the tip of the petal should be on the vertical and the horizontal, the tip, okay. When you make the 16 also, now you have to again divide these into half, this one into half, this one into half, half. Now we did 8. And then one on the right and one on the left, that makes 4, and then the 4 in the intermediate spaces. But if you keep doing the opposite ones, you will not make a mistake, otherwise sometimes you might end up drawing more number of petals and also joining the wrong points. Yeah, between the two consecutive circles, the 8 petals, okay. Okay, then the 16 you have to make these into smaller, again halves, okay. Estimate, estimate, estimate. Only thing here again, be careful, the first one when you do the top one, and make sure that the tips of the 8 one and the 16 one are in alignment. Okay. So, this is the next circle is here. So that you do not make a mistake, do these opposite ones. So, your estimated half, that is the tip of your petal and that is the tip. Similarly, here also you need to estimate half. And then similarly half and half, and then here also half, half. Okay, once you have these 4, now in between these 2 you will have 3 more petals. Three. So, these are the peaks. So, that means half, half. Okay. So, that is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, it is all done in approximation. So, you get 16. Okay. So, anyway you finish that later, just listen to what how you can do with measurements. So, there is a something called a golden ratio, which goes as, okay, to complete this, of course you know you just finished with the square, you take width of one petal as the opening or the gate. So, that is the gate and then you complete the square. Similarly till here. So, approximately width of one petal you can leave it as the gate open and then complete the square and then have 3 lines on the square as well. Okay, so the magic ratio is 6, 6, 5, okay, and then 10 in brackets and then 6, 6, 6. Okay, this is a ratio. So, using this ratio you can make a Sri Chakra of any size. So, here if you add up all of these you get 6 5s are 30, 1 minute, there is one more, 3, 6, 6, 6. So, the ratio when you mark your points, right. So, if this is 6, 6, next one is 5, then this is the gap that is of 10 units, then you have 3, then 6, 6, 6. So, if you add up these, how much do you get? 48, right. So total is 48 units. So now if I am taking a circle with radius of 6 centimeters, then the first one I have will be 1.5 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters, 1.25 centimeters, and then 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and then the last one is 0.75. So if you have taken a radius of 6 centimeters, what is the diameter? Diameter is 12, right? And 12 goes into 48 4 times. So 48 divided by 12 gives you 4, right? Or the other way round. 48 divided by 4 equals 12, right? So each of these also has to be divided by 4, and that's how I got the 1.5. So 6 divided by 4, 6 divided by 4, 5 divided by 4, and then from the bottom again, this 6 divided by 4, 6 divided by 4, 6 divided by 4, and 3 divided by 4. Yeah. So the ratio in numbers are 6, 6, 5, then a gap of 10 units. So don't worry about the gap. What you do is 6, 6, 5, remember, just write in the brackets 10. Then from bottom 6, 6, 6, and half of 6, 3. So this is the ratio, 6, 6, 5 in brackets 10, 3, 6, 6, 6. So when you add up these numbers, okay, you get 48 units, right? So 48 units represents the diameter of the circle. Okay. So if you have taken a diameter of 12 units, then this 48 and 12, the relationship here is 4. 48 divided by 12 gives you 4. Or 48 divided by 4 is giving you the diameter of 12. This diameter, this is the units one is 48, but the one that you have has only 12, right? But 48 divided by 4 will give you 12. Therefore, all of these numbers have to be divided by 4. Okay? Just 0.75. Okay? Then this in between one will be whatever it is. We don't need to worry about that. How many units? If you do it bottom and then the top. Okay? So 1.5, 1.5, 1.25, then these and a 0.75, and then in between one will be half of 4 divided by 10, that is 10 divided by 4, which is 2.5, that will be 2.5 if you measure and do that way. Okay? So the trick here is to choose a number where you will get convenient fractions. If you are going to get odd fractions, it will make your life difficult. You can still draw the Sri Chakra, but by the time you figure out the fractions, it will make you go crazy. Okay? So, and then it will be so much of decimal point and all that, it will not help you. So choose fraction which you can divide easily. Okay? So 48 and 12 you get a nice even number 4, and then 6 divided by 4 you got even numbers 1.5, 1.5, easily measurable with a ruler, right, like that. So that is another thing that you can do. You start small, and then there is another ritual that we do at Devipuram, which we mentioned in the morning as well, which is called the Siri Jyoti Puja, where we draw a large Sri Chakra on the floor here like this, and then decorate it with different things, flowers or colors, or it can be grains, it can be fruits, it can be sweets, snacks, anything. You decorate it, a whole Sri Yantra. Also have some lights. You organize the whole thing, and everybody sits around it, and we chant all the mantras that we did for Kalavahana. So each person invokes into themselves all of these energies, and as a community ritual, everybody invokes the energy into the central lamp. We do the whole puja, and then the energy is taken back by everybody into themselves. So then what happens is, you go back to your own homes and you carry that energy with you, and that goes further and further in concentric circles. It spreads wider and wider. So the idea is that the energy is multiplied, and in the space that it is created, it is multiplied, and it is further multiplied through the people who have come and participated. So if you have again thinking in units, if you have placed 1 unit of energy in the center, what you take back will be multiplied by the number of people who have participated in the energy, and each person will take that much back. Not one person, but each person will get back say 50 units. If 50 people have participated, each person gets back that much energy. That is the magic of the ritual when done in a community setting. And then when you take it back to your home, you distribute that energy to your friends, your family, your neighbors, anybody whom you are in contact with on a regular basis, and that's how the circle keeps getting wider, and you spread this abundance that you have created wider and wider. Okay, so it's something that you can do even at home on a regular basis, just as for your own home. You can just have a smaller one, say 4 feet. So if you have a diameter of 4 feet, then you can similarly calculate, and then you can do. So if you get any Sri Chakra, don't get it with the Bijaksharas already written on them, okay? Because Grihasthas are supposed to worship the Sri Yantra which does not have the Bijaksharas already inscribed. That is meant for sannyasis. Now you know the structure, you can observe, you should count, and then you make sure that everything is correct. See, if you are not using it for worship, it is okay, you can keep it, it's all right. You can also have small pendants, you can wear it as a pendant also, you can put it this thing. Of course, now it has gone to, I mean, people wear it as a ring and everything, and tattoos also on the body, people have it on the back, on the arm, various things are there. So, is it wrong or right? There is no wrong or right in that sense. Because see, there is a direct mapping of the Sri Chakra to your own body. Your body itself is the yantra. So what is the purpose of the yantra? It is a tool. It is a tool that we use to manifest something in our life. So the body also the same thing. We use this body, this mind, the ego, everything. We have to. This is what we have at our disposal. We can't use anything else, right? So whatever we are given, we have to make use of that to transcend and to this thing. So ascension, the transformation, transform yourself and then transcend. So these tools which we are given, that is the yantra. The body itself is the yantra. The cosmos itself is the yantra also. So the Mount Meru, the Meru Danda, the spinal cord is also considered as the central axis of the Meru. And the Meru is also there, of course, in different cultures. You can see the pyramid structure wherever you see, that is representative of the Meru. The Meru mountain, there is supposed to be a mythical mountain called Meru, and that is there, and that is also representing the energies of the cosmos. So it is there in various cultures, it is there everywhere, it is there in our bodies. And if you see the structure, the configuration of this, the 1, 3, 8, 10, 10, 14, it is reflected in the atomic structure of the cells. The electrons that are revolving around, right, they have the same configuration. So it is not only at the macrocosmic and our individual level, but also at the very microscopic level, at the level of the atoms, the same structure is observed. So that is the Sahasrara. Yeah, those chakras are different. They are not exactly the same, but there are some of them map with that. So the body of the chakras body is also there, and this the avaranas, these are 9, the chakras are 7, right. So there are 2 additional ones, and together they make up the body of the human is related to that. Okay. So the direct one-on-one mapping. The feet is the bhupura, the thighs are in when Mukta showed the images, you could have seen some the feet. One of the first images she showed was the feet in the bhupura, right. So that is the feet of the Devi. The thighs represent the 16 petaled lotus, this one. Then this is the Mooladhara chakra. In the chakra system it has 4 petals, but in the Sri Yantra it has 8. Then the 14 petals represents the Swadhisthana chakra, and then this outer 10 represents the Manipura chakra here. This represents the inner 10, and then the 8 is here, Vishuddhi. Then the triangle, central triangle, and this is the Bindu. Sahasrara is the Bindu. So that is how the mapping happens with the, pardon? Yes, the Sri Chakra has 4 gates, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 on all 4 sides, right? So those represent the 4 Vedas. So, and we are in the Bhupara, and there are 3 lines. Usually there is one white line, then red line, and yellow line. Those represent the gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamo gunas. Then together, the square, the 16, and the 8 petals represent the waking state, dreaming state, and the sleeping state. And at this junction, okay, this is where we consider ourselves to be completely apart from the cosmos. So we think we are complete in ourselves and not a part of the whole universe because of this. So the 8, 16, and these 3 represents the individual. Then the next 3 represents the cosmos, and the first 3, the Bindu, triangle, and 8 triangles represents the pre-cosmos. So even before the cosmos was born, how was it? So the pre-cosmos, then the cosmos, and then this represents the individual. So we consider the separation from the cosmos is complete after this universe is formed. Then these 3 levels is where we identify ourselves as an individual, and we think that we are, nothing related to the cosmos. So our journey now begins from here. How do we get back to the source over here? I said the whole universe is contained in the Sri Chakra, right? So all of the numbers. So starting from the Shunyam, right? Then the 1. So the Lalita Mahatripura Sundari, she is the deity of this yantra. So she is the 1. She represents the number 1. And the number 2 is represented by Shiva and Shakti together. Number 3 represents the space-time matter. So Lakshmi, Gauri, and Saraswati. Okay, that is the 3. Then the 4. At the 4 corners are 4 deities. They are called the Chaturayatana. So the number 4. Anyway, 6, the 6-pointed star, right? So one large downward pointing triangle and a large upward pointing triangle. So that makes the 6. So that is the Shiva and Shakti. So just in very simple form, if you want to draw the Sri Chakra, 1 downward pointing triangle, 1 upward pointing triangle. That represents the Sri Chakra also. Okay? In short. And that is what you have in the mother symbol, right? So that is 6. Then 7 is also the 7 chakras. They are related from here, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. So 7 chakras come. Then in Sri Chakra we call them as the Ashtamatrukas, 8, which are at the 4 gates and the 4 intermediary corners as well. So the Brahmi is here, Maheshwari is here, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Mahendri, Chamunda, and Mahalakshmi. They are called as Ashtamatrukas in the representation of the Sri Chakra. Okay, and then 9, of course, 9 avaranas, 9 levels we have to cross before we can get there. So this was the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and then the next one was the 3 granthis of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra granthis. 3 circles that you have after this, those represent the 3 granthis. So where you have to lose your identification with the body, lose your identification with your mind, lose your identification with your ego. So unless you cross those, you cannot get into the stage where you can merge completely with her. So here she has to be the same. Then there are 9 yoginis. 9 yoginis, where they are situated, 1 at each avarana also. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the bindu is 9. And they are also represented within these 8 triangles and the center. So each one has her own name, Prakata Yogini, Gupta Yogini, Guptatara Yogini. These are the Nava Yoginis. That's why this is also sometimes referred to as Navayoni Chakra. Okay, so 9 this thing. So and then we did certain mudras at the end, if you remember, right? Yesterday when we did the Kalavahana. So Dram, Dream, Kleem. So all of those actually they are 9. The 10th one is actually shown by Devi when she is ready to accept you into her completely. The merging of yourself with the goddess is the 10th mudra. Others are the 9. So through the 5 senses, Dram, Dream, Kleem, Bloom, Saha, Krom. Krom is anger, the divine anger. So she tells you to what extent you can worship her. So this is also related to where we worship the woman or a person, and not in the form of a yantra or an image, but as a living person. So there it is important to communicate through mudras and not through speech, because the speech is the grossest form of communication. So the mudras help there in the sense that you don't have to say anything, but you show through mudras what your intention is, and that is how the worship is concluded. So at the end, here the seventh one says, let us forget that you and I are different, and let us roam around freely in the universe. So there are a lot of very deep meanings in all of this. It's a big study. So wish you all the luck, and hope you take baby steps. This is definitely a very good step. If you like drawing, if you like creating something, you have done it for the first time. Many of you have done it for the first time. Do take it up as a practice. Guruji used to say, draw 108 of them and give them, because 108 are the deities present in the Sri Chakra. So give them away to people.